It's time to wrap up Series 2 of my bank box battle with nickels right now. Hey everybody, it's Rob with RobFindsTreasure, and that's right, we're here. The last set of boxes for Series 2 of my bank box battle with nickels. Now you guys will recall in Series 1, Wells Fargo took it at the very end over Chase 33-2 to 31-7. Ironically, Chase has a chance to take this one over Wells Fargo. Now they're 4.7 points behind per round with 9 rounds. So after 10 rounds, they're going to have to score a 60 or 70 point box in order to win it. That's why I've got them saved for last. That being said, B of A has almost no chance of even scoring a second place finish unless they have an epic box and Chase falls. So, because it's pretty much Wells Fargo's series for the taking, I felt like let's kick it off with Wells Fargo, see how well they do. Then we'll give B of A crack at the second box to see if they can make up any ground. And then we'll leave it all at the Chase to see if they can chase Wells to the victory line. That being said, I've got my boxes up here. We're going to kick it off with Wells Fargo's first. I've already opened all 3 boxes. I didn't see any enders from the coins that I could see, but they're all circulated, so we've got to hunt. Let me clear these out of the way, move Wells Fargo down, and then we'll kick off this hunt and see if Wells Fargo can start us off right. We're due for a V-nickel. We're due for silver. We're expecting a buffalo, but let's get the hunt going so we can see what we get. Roll number 3 for Wells Fargo. Got our first 40s nickel of the box. It is a 1941 out of Philly, and we added a pretty nice 1957 Denver in the second roll. Roll number 5, I have a couple of finds. First and foremost, I did see that I had a 1947 nickel behind the one I'm about to show you. I think that's a 47S. It is. I'll take a 47S, add it to the collection. But I bring in because I don't find a lot of nice 1973 nickels like this. Take a look at this 1973 Philadelphia nickel. Absolutely beautiful. Now, I did put it under my microscope and to see if it had full steps. It doesn't, but it does have step detail. Very good fields. Clean strike. We got a little bit of a ding there on the S, which is common for nickels you're going to find in circulation still. This is definitely a keeper for me. I don't keep most of my common nickel years in good shape, but when they're in great shape, I will roll it up. All right, let's get back to the hunt. Let's find more goodies. Well, we're on roll 12, and as true is to Wells Fargo's nature, we're not going to be disappointed in this box. First and foremost, I caught the glimpse of a 40s nickel, thought it had a war nickel appearance. It's just a 49. But as I pushed down the stack, look what I see right there. We get to uncover it together. That's most definitely the edge of a buffalo nickel. Minted in Philadelphia, of course, but buffalo nonetheless. Will it have a date? It will have a date. It's a little bit slick, but I think I saw a date on there. 1923 Philadelphia. Not a key date or semi-key date. It would have been nice if it was a 24S, of course. But I'll take a 1923 Buffalo nickel. More importantly, it has a date. Would have been nice to have a mint mark too. But Buffalo nickel number 1 in the first box. Roll 12. Now that I still have you here, where is that 49 at? Is it a 49D? Should we get to check for a over mint mark? It is a 49D. We're looking for the 49D over S. Let's take a look under my scope if we can get the coin right. So it does have something going on right here. And the D over S, you will see the top of the S here and the bottom there, but it's pretty dirty. I'm going to have to spend a couple of seconds wiping that mint mark area down. Let me see if I can expose it a little bit better and bring it back in. So I've used a soft toothpick and kind of did my best to kind of look in here. And this area is what I thought I saw, but I don't see, other than just some mint mark damage, anything that says without a doubt that it is a D over S. That being said, the shadowing is suspicious. You can kind of see that there might be something in here, but I'm going to err on the side of better judgment and say that it's not. I would have to clean this thing quite extensively to get a really good look, and by the time I did all that, even if it was, we would have killed the value of it. At the end of the day, though, I'll take a 1949D, add it to the collection, and look for more goodies. Very next roll, roll 13, and sure enough, we've got another 1949 that looks like it's been polished maybe, or scratched, scuffed, who knows, but it's a good strike otherwise. Yeah, it's definitely been altered or tampered with. Very odd. I don't think it's die scratches because of the amount of wear on the surface of this coin, but either way, cool find. We'll take it. Second 49, not in bad shape. It's got some decent luster, some odd scratches. Could be onto a good box because the same roll as that 49 with the scratching, we've got a 1939. Will there be a mint mark? No mint mark. So it's a common 1939 Philadelphia, but is there doubling? No doubling. The 1939 PDDR has extensive doubling on the word Monticello and on 5 cents. You can clearly see it if you have it on these E's, but we don't have it. Still, 23 Buffalo, 39 nickel, same box, roll 13, let's go. Roll 17, another 40s nickel, 1 year off silver, 1946. Roll number 18, and we did it again. Another 1939. Now this one's chewed up, so it's likely just going to be a Philadelphia, but we won't know until we flip it. It is definitely a Philadelphia. I didn't see any mint mark in that corner, but while we're here, is there any doubling? There's a lot of damage, so it's hard to tell, but looking at those E's says it's not. Still, second 39 nickel of the hunt. Roll 19, another find. 1940 out of Philly. Roll 20, yet another 40s nickel. 1941 out of Philly. Roll 22, 1 year off silver again. 1946, Philadelphia. Roll 48, it's been a while since we had a good find. We're still finding coins, a lot in the 50s, but roll 48 is going to give us a 1948. I don't even have a spot for that one. We finished that Wells Fargo box, and it did what Wells Fargo always does. Puts old Jeffersons on the board, tossed us in a Buffalo, found a few 09s. Can't get mad at that. We had 19 coins in the 50s. We had 9 in the 40s. 2 2009s. A beautiful 1973, which I'll add to the collection. 2 1939 Philadelphias. No DDRs. And of course, early on, but only once, the 1923 Philadelphia Minted Buffalo Nickel. That's going to score a lot of points because that's a lot of finds in one box. Still didn't get a silver, as usual. Still hasn't locked it up for sure, although with that hunt and their lead, it's going to be tough for one of those two boxes to make a comeback. That being said, you never know how many Buffaloes, silvers, maybe a V-nickels inside those boxes. Can't wait to get in there. Let me get this in the stat sheet, and let's move on to B of A. So I did some hand math, so don't quote me on this, but 48.5 points for that B of A box. It's tied for third for its best box of the 10-box series, and it ended with 11 Buffalo nickels, but only 2 silvers and none in the final 6 boxes. Crazy. Still, that should lock it up, but let's see if we get some goodies in the other 2 boxes. I've got the B of A box here. Like I said, they are circulated. One of the rolls is bulging out the box, so that's going to make for a little bit more tough to keep track of the number roll that I'm on, but I don't care about that. All I care about is finding goodies. Let's get started. I'm on the first roll, and I'm seeing something I've never seen in a nickel box before. What do we got here? Playground for the Mind. Bolly's Le Mans. Family Fun Centers. We've got a token. Unbelievable. I have never seen this token before, but we got one. Definitely a cool find. We'll take it. Roll 1. Roll number 5 of the B of A box. We have one 40s or 50s Jefferson nickel and a token. And we're going to have a Canadian. So we've got more side finds than early Jefferson finds. We'll take it though. 1983 with a beaver on the back. We're on roll 12 of the B of A box, and we've got our first 40s nickel, and it's a 1949 Philadelphia. Roll 14 of the B of A box, and we've got a first year Jefferson nickel that we get to check to see if it has a mint mark. And it doesn't. Key date is a 38D or a 38S, but it is a first year Jefferson, and I don't see too many of them, so I'm happy to add it to the collection. Roll 15, another 40s, and that one's a 1940 Philly. Roll 17, and literally just a few rolls later, and look at this, another 1938. Will there be a mint mark on the reverse? No. Still, pretty nice 1938. That's 2 for the box, too. And I'll take that for sure. Roll 20. Yet another 1949. And this one is a Denver. So we'll be checking that mint mark area. That's a little bit interesting in there, but that would be interesting too if it was in there. So because there's lots of little chips up here, damage, I don't see what I want to see in it, but definitely interesting. Of course, if you really stare at all the mint marks on all the coins, you can always find something interesting with them. That being said, just a 1949D, and we'll take it. Roll 22. 1947, Philadelphia. Roll 27, a 1948 with some corrosion on it. Roll 28, another 48. Oh, nope, 46, Philly. Roll 36, and we've got a third nickel from the 30s. Again, will it have a mint mark? It does not. But is there doubling? There is not. Either way, I'll take it. 3 from the 30s. Can't get mad at that. Roll 37. Another 40s nickel. This one, a 1940 from Philly. Roll 41, and we're going to find ourselves a 1946 from Denver. 1 year off silver. Can we find one? Roll 44 is going to give us another 1949. And this one is a 49S. You know what? 49S is a semi-key date. I was not expecting that. We'll take it. It's not in the best condition, but I have seen worse. 1949, semi-key date in the box. Well, that's all she wrote for the B of A box. Not a bad box. We got 16 in the 50s, 9 in the 40s, including a semi-key date 1949S, just at about 9.7 million minted. 2 2009s, couple of beauties here, a 60 and a 63. We'll be adding those to the collection. We got a token and a Canadian. We also got 3 nickels from the 30s, 2 1938 first year Jeffersons, no mint marks, and a 1939 second year Jefferson, no mint mark, no DDR. This box should score pretty well as well, to tell you the truth. But we didn't get a Buffalo, we still haven't found another V-nickel, and we didn't find silver once again. Let me plug these stats in, get the sheet updated, and we'll see if Chase can make a big move. Well, I've got the sheet updated, and according to my stats, because of the token, the foreign, and the 209s, got a few more points there. And even though it wasn't a Buffalo, it did get a Nic-A-Date credit. Plus, it had a bonus 30s compared to the Wells Fargo box. So, 51 points. Again, these are unofficial until I hunt the chase box and get them in the computer. But what a nice finish for B of A to gain some points there. Again, it only made up 2.5 points at most, and that's not going to make up any ground, to be honest. But nice way to finish B of A in style. All right, Chase. Now do your thing. We're on roll 4 of the chase box, and 1949 must be the featured nickel of this video because I keep finding them in all the boxes. But this one is from Philly. Roll 10 of the chase box. Still on the hunt for silver, but let me know if you see something that catches your eye. Did you see it? Because I sure did. We've got a Buffalo in roll 10. Another Philadelphia mint. Whoa. Is that a 1918 Philadelphia? It most certainly is. Well, the 1918 does have a 1918/17 in the Denver mint, but nothing for Philly. That being said, 1918 Buffalo nickel with the legible date in the box, we'll take it. 32 million minted of those bad boys. And in G4 condition, about a $6 nickel. Now, this is probably more like maybe G4 because we do have a legible date. But I'll take it. 1918, 101-year-old nickel in roll 10. And you know what? I'm going to say G4. $6 find. Now let's find more. Roll 11. It's not a 49 this time, but it's close. 1948 out of Philly. Roll 20 is going to yield another 40s nickel, and it's not that bad a condition. It's got a slight haze to it like it was kept in something for a while, but that's a 47D, and I think it's beautiful. Love it. Roll 27, and look what we got here. I haven't looked yet. It looks pretty beat up, but it's another Buffalo, and we got a 46 right behind it. Let's grab the Buffalo first. What am I thinking? Man, it is scratched up and worn. I don't know if there's a mint mark. Could be. We'll check in a second. And as expected, absolutely no detail, no date on the front. Let's see if we can even get a mint mark on this. And of course, we have a nice gash right where the mint mark would be. Although, I feel like I see maybe some raised elements like a D here. So, we're going to Nic-A-Date this one. It's so trashed right now, it doesn't really matter about the Nic-A-Date. And I would love to see if I can get a date on that, but there is some scratches across the date area. That's going to make it tough. We'll do the back first, and I'll bring you back in. Then we'll check the front, see if there's a mint mark. Obviously, I'd love for it to be a 13D, 14D, or any of the S's, obviously, as you can see listed here. Either way, let's see if there's a mint mark. I'll bring you back in. So we've used the Nic-A-Date. Now, for those interested, I do have the Nic-A-Date link down below in the video description, along with my coin roll hunting mat and my scope. I get asked a lot of times where I get these things, so I have links down below in the video description. That being said, I've Nic-A-Dated the back of the nickel here, and if you can take a good look at that, I don't think we're going to have a mint mark. Yeah, I don't think there's a mint mark on this one. For fun, we'll put it under the scope just in case I miss something. And you can see where I thought there might have been some raised elements. I mean, it still looks like possibly there could be a mint mark. I don't see one though. I'm going to Nic-A-Date it one more time because I didn't leave it on there very long. I wanted to make sure. I'm 99% sure that's not a mint mark, but I do definitely want to make sure, because as you back up, if you look at that screen, looks like we could have something there, but it might just be damage. I'm going to do it one more time, but when I bring you in next time, we'll have done the reverse and the obverse to see what the date is as well. So it's kind of a bummer. 1926S is a semi-key date. This is most definitely a 1926. So of course I wanted to be absolutely certain of the mint mark area. Don't recommend Nic-A-Dating a nickel twice too often, but if you gotta make sure, you gotta make sure. And unfortunately, the more I've done it, there's no mint mark there. Wishful thinking that first time around. I put it under the scope even. Definitely no mint mark. Just a ding right where the mint mark would be, which would be right here. And even though in some lightings it looks like there might be a hook of an S, it would be a lot more pronounced after Nic-A-Dating it than that. I don't see a mint mark. It's wishful thinking. Would have been a beautiful sight to see a 26S. Obviously, in this condition, it wouldn't be very valuable, and we've Nic-A-Dated it. Still, I'll take it. 1926. We got a date off it. No mint mark. 2 buffaloes in the box. 27 rolls in. Oh, and while I have you here, we also found a 1946 San Francisco. Can't get mad at that. Roll 29 of the chase box, and we've got another 1946 Denver, another year from silver. Roll 34, and we're going to have a Buffalo Herd. That one looks even more slick than the last one. Let's take a look. Might be able to get a date. And I think this one actually does have a mint mark, unless it's just damage. It could just be damage. I feel like I see the top of something. But unfortunately, once again, this is pretty slick. I probably could spend a long time looking at it. For a date, I think I kind of see a date. But then again, I don't know. Let me look at it under my loop, under my scope, off camera. And if I deem that I can't get a date, I'll go ahead and Nic-A-Date it and bring it back in. So we unfortunately had to Nic-A-Date this nickel as well. And you can see on the reverse that there is once again no mint mark. There was some raised elements, had me looking there for a minute, but the more I look, the more I don't see anything. The good news is I was able to get a date off the front. Check it out, 1914. And the reason why I was curious about the back is 1914D is a semi-key date. That would have been nice. Still, I'll take a 1914. Anytime you can get a Teens Buffalo nickel in the box, you can't get mad at that whatsoever. Either way, we've got a herd of buffaloes, 3 buffalo nickels, same box, a 14, an 18, and a 26. Wow. Well, we finished the chase box, and let me tell you, the last 15 rolls were as cold as ice. I think we only got that 109 that we got in the box and a 55 Denver. That's all in the last 15 rolls. Still, I'm not going to get mad. Let's take a look at the wrap-up. We got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 in the 50s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 only in the 40s. And surprisingly, nothing earlier than 1946 as far as Jeffersons. We did net a herd of buffaloes, a 1914 Philadelphia, a 1918, I didn't even need to Nic-A-Date it, Philadelphia, and a 1926 Philadelphia. Almost touched 2 semi-key dates, but no mint marks that I could see. Again, we got one of the 09s and a really nice 1967. I'll pull it aside. We'll let this guy retire in peace. It's a great box, but I don't think it's enough to pass Wells Fargo. It had to have an epic box. If we would have found another Buffalo, maybe a silver or two, man, it would have been anyone's game. Let me plug it into the stat sheet, see who won, and I'll bring it back in. So I have the stats plugged in. That round was actually won by B of A. First time they get a round win is the last box of the round, 51 points. Second was 48.5 for Wells Fargo. And last was Chase, with still a great box at 40.5. So at the end of the day, Wells Fargo took Series 2 just like they took Series 1. As a matter of fact, it came in the exact same order. Wells, Chase, B of A. After 20 boxes in my area, I think it's safe to say Wells Fargo has the best nickel boxes, with Chase a close second and B of A trailing third. Hopefully you enjoyed this series 2 of my bank box battle with nickels. We scored a lot of buffaloes in this hunt and in this series, and that makes me happy. The bad news is we're starting to struggle on silver. I wonder if you guys are struggling on silver, or is it just my area? Maybe I've plucked it all out. Who knows? Either way, if you did enjoy the series, I'd appreciate a thumbs up. And as always, everyone, happy hunting. And thanks for watching.